At any one time, between 25 and 40% of us are trying to lose weight. And to supply that desire for health, or more commonly, the body beautiful, is an enormous industry with products that they all claim work. But do they work? And are they safe? Tonic's Katie Beros has been investigating and spoke to a leading expert in weight loss, diabetes and hormones, Professor Leslie Campbell of the Garvan Institute in Sydney.
If you take something, you may actually have a very short period of thinking a drug works because of something called the placebo effect. But unfortunately, any of these products that don't actually have real ingredients that work will eventually fail the obese or the overweight person. Instead of complaining, as most people would when they bought a shoddy product, obese people tend to feel guilty. They assume they've done the wrong thing themselves and failed. And so they go on and buy the next product. One concern is the exploitation of these people and are going to continue to suffer from their obesity, and the possibility of side effects and interactions with other drugs. All of it is dependent on eating less kilojoules, whether it's carbohydrate restricted or whether it's fat restricted. The end result's the same. A prolonged period of kilojoule restriction, calorie restriction, will have the desired result. And then activity for life. That it's not just going to the gym, it's the fact that people who have weight problems have been shown in many ways to be the ones who'll sit and instead of finding out whether it's raining, they'll send walking outside, they'll actually send the dog out and feel the dog when it comes back and see if the dog's wet. They will go to enormous lengths not to be active.
So it's a real challenge for people to lose weight, and that's why they turn to weight loss drugs and products. These usually fall into 4 categories: prescription medications, complementary products, surgery and meal replacements. Let's start with prescription medications. It's a short list.
There's just been a withdrawal of the last 2 drugs have been taken off the market for side effects. The only other drug which works through reducing the fat absorption in the gut is available across the counter. That's Xenical. It causes about 1/3 of the ingested fat to go out again in the bowel. In other words, if you eat too much fat, you get a nasty fatty diarrhoea. So what really happens, besides losing calories, it's also a bit of a warning that if you eat a high-fat diet, you're going to have embarrassment. It is a drug that's been around for a very long time, so has a very long history of safe use, except sometimes you might need a fat-soluble vitamin as well.
And is it something that you have to stay on forever?
That is an interesting question. Not necessarily. I think the big problem people who are very overweight have is that they can't be active until they've lost a bit of weight. Often what can happen is that drugs, you could use the drug to lose weight, but once you've lost a bit and become permanently, forever, more active, then you may not need to take a drug.
How do appetite suppressants work?
Very few appetite suppressants of the real nature are left on the market. The 1 or 2 that are available are working through the brain, which is where your appetite is. Phentermine is the only appetite suppressant at the moment on the market, and it does have a truly appetite suppressant effect, but it does have side effects which are somewhat unpleasant, with fast pulse and palpitations and sleeplessness. And I think they work probably the way bariatric surgery works.